Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're gonna be talking about Danmachi merchant system. So yeah, let's begin, shall we, ladies and gents? And if you're wondering, wait, I thought you're gonna go to college again. Well, it turns out that it was just enrollment, and there's also rescheduling and other stuff like that. So I currently have still have one day until I have to go back to school. So yeah, so let's begin, shall we, ladies and gents? As we go back from the last episode, as we currently see that of Astraea, the goddess of justice and the goddess of the Astraea Familia, as she would continue. So, I want to ask if you have any weapons for a new member of ours. After hearing that, he would say, "Hmm? Oh, sure. But what kind of weapon?" he would say, as she would look towards her familiar member. In this case, a small little elf. And if you're wondering, no, it's not that one member, which will not be spoiling for now. As she would say, yes, her. She's new to the Familia. In fact, she's currently a level 1, and we're planning to get a weapon from here since, after all, we heard a lot about you. And in fact, as she would look towards him once again and say, several forging familias, especially ones like Hephaestus and Goibna familia, are quite interested in trying to recreate some of your weapons, especially since that they were indestructible, even compared to most weapons that are made from the highest quality. It's almost not even comparable, even though some of those weapons are quite simple. As he would say, sure, why not? But first, do you have any preference to what weapon do you want? As you would say, yes. Let me just ask my familiar member over here. As she would look towards the little elf, as she would whisper in her ear. As after a while of whispering, she would look towards him once again and would say, well, she seems to want to have a weapon that's simple and fast, easily deployable, and also, how do I say it? Flashy, as she called it. Hearing that, he would say, flashy? Well, my weapons are pretty practical, so I'm not really sure what flash do you want. As she would just look at his weapon, in this case the hunter's axe, as she would point at it, as he would say, well, that's my personal weapon. Even though I may not be a member of a familia yet, or not really at all, I'm pretty much skilled in this, and I prefer if you not try to get my weapon. And besides, it's probably too heavy for you. As she would pout a little bit, I should say, not her, the elf, but more like Astraea. Calm yourself. Besides, we're just here to get a weapon requested for her specifically. As you would say, well, I do have one idea for a weapon, but it won't be flashy, if that's okay with you. As the elf would look at him and would just nod her head, as you'd say, sure, good. Now, where can I get it? As you would close his, the window where he can interact with the customers. As after doing so, he would go towards a little corner of his room or inside of his carriage, and would activate the system. As he would through the as he would activate the system, as he would looks through several weapons and also some items. As you would say, what would be good for her, considering that it's not going to be flashy? As you would find a certain weapon, as you would say, oh, this will be perfect for her, he would say. As after saying that, he would purchase the item. Several minutes later, several minutes later, as we would see him in front of Astraya and the little elf girl, as you'd say, "Here, a weapon for you. It's quite perfect and it's quite simple. Though you did request it to be flashy, but unfortunately there's no weapons that are flashy enough. Or at least anything too flashy, since all my weapons that are, well, made by me are somewhat more practical and somewhat gruesome. So here, as he would grab on his back pocket, as he reveals the saw spear. As when they saw it, they would say, or more specifically Astraya, mind telling me what is that weapon? As you'd say, oh, I call it the saw spear. A pretty simple weapon to say the least. You can activate the trigger to make it longer, though you can also use it in its current form right now. It can be used as both a saw and also as a serrated weapon, but when lengthened, it's like a spear, which can use to slash, stab, and also cause some serious damage towards monsters, making them bleed out. As seeing this, she would say, I see. Though, why exactly this weapon? As he would say, well, you wanted something simple, flashy, and other stuff, I believe. But I couldn't get the flash, so I decided to go for something simple and easy to use. It's quite the beginner weapon from where I'm from, or at least from the weapon that was made. As she would say, I see. Then thank you. Here's the Valis for it. As after grabbing the Valis, he would say, pleasure doing business with you. As after saying that, they would leave. As you'd say, alright. Now, I wonder where I can sell more weapons and also some items. As after saying these words, he would start going back onto his cart as he would start to leave. As there's still currently a war between the Athena and Ares Familia still. As we time skip to a few more years later, we currently see Arthur as he's currently busy with more things. Mostly being that he's currently in a different city. Still not at Arario yet. As of current, he's pretty well known now, or at least somewhat well known, especially in the underground, since his weapons are probably really good, together with some of his items that he usually sells in public, such as sedatives and other such items. As meanwhile, we currently see him in the middle of in the middle of an auction, as he's currently now selling. As he's currently not really bidding, but more like being the one actually selling this item. In this case, the beast cutter, which by the way, I don't know how the quality of this became downgraded after I downloaded the image. I made sure that I actually got into the actual website, by the way, so how the fuck I'm trying to fix it anyway so soon. Anyway, continuing on, as we currently see him bidding it off to some people, and I mean a lot of people, because they're pretty interested in the item, since after all, it was made or being sold by, or is by Arthur, since he's pretty well known as of now. As it was mostly just simple adventurers and some higher ranking adventurers from different cities, but one group is currently trying to bid it, or try and get it. In this case, members of the Kali Familia, which mostly consist of Amazons. And some of them are currently wanting to get that weapon due to its powerful ability to basically turn into a whip, which the trigger, when activated, would turn into basically a massive whip with a high range, which would be good for them, especially since that their whole, well, strength rules everything, tactic and stuff. As after a while, they would win the bidding. As the one member of the Kali familia would approach him and would say, "Hmm, as we currently see Arthur, as he would give the weapon off to them, as he would say, well, pleasure doing business with you. Also, before you leave, I actually have a few items that I'm willing to sell to you." As they would look at him, and since most of the time they're mostly just yelling and, more interested in basically going to war and stuff, they're unable to talk. In fact, they're pretty much like illiterate. As they would just look at him, as he would say, I'm just trying to sell you items. As they would not understand them since they're more, well, they don't know the common language. If I remember correctly, in the light novels, the Kali Familia specifically uses their own language, or at least the main Amazonian language. But a person would arrive, being that of the goddess of the Kali Familia, Kali herself. As she would say, "Oh, you're willing to sell me some items?" She would say, as well, let's just say Arthur was a bit surprised. She's a little girl. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Apparently, in the light novels, she's a lowly. Yeah, I'm not really enthused either. So, anyway, as she would say, so, what exactly are these items? As after hearing that, she would say, oh, don't worry about it. And also, well, my items that I have are right over here, he would say, as he would show them off. As he would bring them towards a cart filled with jars. As he would say, we call this thing lead elixir. I've been working on it for a while, or at least the people that actually made the stuff have been working a while to make this. It's an elixir that makes any blows towards you basically bounce off, reducing all of the damage. Hearing that, she would say, really? If that's the case, then where did you get it? As he would say, oh, why would I tell you that? After all, it's a merchant's job to not tell anybody about where they get the items. As she would look at him and would say, fine, how much does it cost? As he would say, oh, don't worry. Besides, I've been meaning to test it out on somebody, or at least a few, so I'm just gonna give them to you for free. After all, I really plan on selling these if the effects are true. Hearing that, she would say, deal. As after saying that, they would shake hands, as after getting the vows from them, he would start to leave, going back inside of his carriage. As we would see him once again inside of his carriage, as he's currently done for today, as he's about to take some rest. As you would say, well, that was a freaking long day. So, I wonder what did I get out of it, he would say, as he would look and activate his system. As you would see a little update from his system. Hello there, Sir Arthur. As you would say, oh, what is it, system? As you would say, there's been a new upgrade to the system. More specifically, a new option. As you would say, an option? As you would say, yes, this option allows you to upgrade the system. More specifically, to to allow you to use skills and abilities from that world. And so we're gonna be ending off this episode right off here, guys. So yeah, bye bye.